Their goal should be to win the East every year for the next 5 years with this group. That should be their goal.
Welcome to an extra edition of the Putback with Ian Begley here on SNY.TV. We've got Kenny Smith with us, NBA champion, obviously, TNT Inside the NBA analyst, and here to speak with us about the Harlem Globetrotters Pay It Forward TV series on NBC. We get into a lot of Knicks talk here with Kenny. Kenny, I want to talk a little NBA with you. Karl Towns, Julius Randle, the trade, Knicks and Timberwolves. What are your thoughts?
Well, for me, Minnesota with an emerging star, superstar in terms of Anthony Edwards and what he's been able to do. They went to the Western Conference Finals, so their ceiling is almost where they are. But for the Knicks, I think Karl Anthony-Towns, he puts everyone in their right position. He might not be the leading scorer on the team. He might not even lead the team in rebounds or blocks, whatever it is. But now your best point guard never has to play two guard. Your best two guard never has to play small forward, and so on and so forth, because he puts everyone in their right position, and now they have size. I thought last year the Knicks overachieved, playing a small lineup, playing as well as they did. I thought they actually overachieved, but with Karl Anthony-Towns, I think they have an opportunity to be a contender now instead of a playoff team.
And the Mikal Bridges acquisition, they obviously gave up a lot of firsts for him. How did you see that fit? How do you see him impacting the group?
Well, you don't need first-round picks when your core is young. You talk about Jalen Brunson, you talk about Mikal Bridges now, you talk about Hart, you talk about Karl Anthony-Towns. All those guys are under 26 years old. So your core, you don't need draft picks. You need your core to develop and your core to play together and get experience together. And they have that now with the Knicks. Even Mitchell Robinson, when he comes back, they have a young team. So they're ready and they're prime. They have no excuses. They have coaching in Thibodeau. They have the players now. Obviously, the fan base is there in New York. So this is the years that if you're going to try to win it, these are the years.
If they're healthy, Kenny.
And Bridges, exactly.
Right. And if they're healthy, if OG and Anunoby, if everybody's healthy, where do you see this group stacking up in the East?
Their goal should be to win the East every year for the next 5 years with this group. That should be their goal. Now, injuries and everything else, players develop, other teams get better. Like Tyrese Maxey exploded from what he was 2 years ago, who knows? But the New York Knicks should be thinking Eastern Conference champs every year that they come out for the next 5 years.
And Jalen Brunson named captain in the offseason. I know that you had, maybe it was a year and a half ago, talked about the Knicks not having the best player on the floor. And then since then, you had changed your mind on that after watching Jalen Brunson. Just wanted to know, what has he shown you since becoming a Knick, and your thoughts on him being named as a captain, what that means?
Yeah, a year and a half ago, I would always say that the Knicks had the second best player on the floor. And then all of a sudden, Jalen Brunson played like I saw him play in high school. When he was in Chicago. I used to watch him play in high school. I see his dad when his dad wasn't a coach for the Knicks, and I'd go to his high school games. And he was an unbelievable high school player. Then he went to Villanova, then became an unbelievable college player. My question was, could he do that in the NBA? Because if you look at his stature, you go, that isn't the stature of the top 10 players in the league in terms of physically.
Right.
But now he has shown that he could do it at that level. And he could be one of the best players on the floor regardless of who's out there. So for sure, the Knicks, again, if you're not thinking Eastern Conference Championship, you're wrong.
Defensively, Towns at the 5, obviously Bridges and Anunoby. You know how Tom Thibodeau likes to play. What are your thoughts on Karl defensively with this group and how it might work?
Yeah, I'm just waiting until they're fully loaded too, because I like to see Karl at the 4 as well when you have like a Mitchell Robinson type guy. So, they have a lot of versatility. You could even play super small and put Mikal Bridges at the 4. You know, you're kind of doing what Phoenix does when they put Kevin Durant at the 5. So you could do multiple things. Or you can go super big in terms of lineup. You can have, you know, OG at the 3. You know, Karl at the 4, and they have and a big at the 5. So you can have multiple lineups and multiple things, and still be effective, athletic, and really good team. So I'm excited to see what the Knicks do.
What can you tell me about Play It Forward, and why was it important for you to be involved in this endeavor?
Play It Forward is a show about the Harlem Globetrotters and what they do, from trick shots, the science of them, to what they do on the court, but more importantly, some of the things that they do, and most of the things they do off the court. All the benevolent things that they do and the goodwill things they do in the communities worldwide. And we get to see it firsthand. So that's what the show is about. For me, it was important because I've been an honorary All Globetrotter since I was 11 years old. I was in a free throw shooting contest, won it in New York City when I was 11 years old, shot free throws for the Harlem Globetrotters in front of 19,000 people at Madison Square Garden. I made my free throw and became a Globetrotter for life after that.
Man, that's quite an event, and for the ties to the Globetrotters and the city and just youth in general, how do you hope that this impacts the people paying attention to it, people viewing it?
Well, you know, it's going to really, obviously, if you're a basketball fan, you're going to see great trick shots and you're going to see great showmanship because, you know, undeniably, they're the greatest showmen in sports that ever existed. So you'll see that. But, you know, we have episodes coming up with Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, takes us to his music conservatory that he founded. And the players taking youth there to learn music through sport. BJ, one of the players on the Globetrotters, take us to Philadelphia where he cuts homeless people's hair. And this is just some of the things that you'll see. And the Globetrotters are not state trotters, they're Globetrotters. Around the world, you'll see all of these great benevolent things.
Kenny, we're excited to check the show out. We're excited to see how it goes, and we appreciate your time, man. Thanks so much.
I appreciate you.
Well, you heard it there from Kenny. Knicks all in on competing for a championship after the Karl Anthony-Towns trade. Be sure to keep an eye on SNY.TV for more Knicks coverage. We will be back with you on the Putback next week. And also, you can keep an eye on NBC for that Harlem Globetrotters Pay It Forward series with Kenny Smith. A lot of great stuff in there for the youth.